Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Allie Wilkins. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you're coming back, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about a mask that I know very well, and you probably do too because you're watching this. We're going to talk about the independent woman mask. So this is a mask that most women in America, I would say, and a lot of women in the Western world wear. And this mask, I think, is something that's relatively new over the past like 20 years or so. So let's just look at history for a moment, like recent history, to kind of explain where this way of being came from. So if you think about, women in the 50s, there was just starting to be this feminist movement. I mean, really like in the 30s, but women in the 50s, it was common to be a housewife. You've never had a job before. And then all of a sudden in the 70s and 80s, like women all have jobs, right? And so what you start to see happening are these different versions or these different sorts of women from the 50s who had never had jobs. Maybe their husbands passed away or their husbands left them, and they're left in this position where they don't have anything, right? They can't support themselves. They can't take care of themselves. Or women who are needing someone else to support them in order to like be okay. And so I think that a lot of people, if you're my age, or, plus minus 20 years, your parents probably wanted to instill this piece of safety within you. Like, don't ever rely on a man. I definitely heard this. Don't ever rely on a man. Don't ever need a man's money. You need to be able to take care of yourself and support yourself. And there can't be anything else that like you need somebody for something, because that puts you in a position of being unsafe. And so the intention behind it is good. However, what that immediately does is it puts us into our masculine energy. So everybody has masculine and feminine energy, but when we are put in the position of being like our own protector, that makes our masculine energy start to rise above the feminine. Or what I'll say there is like it's not an equal balance. And so you'll see this in the corporate world, right? You look around at the women in corporate or CEOs, for example, and it's like they don't need you for anything. They're operating in their masculine all day long. Very little feminine energy is accepted or celebrated in a corporate sort of environment, or in an environment of like, let's just say it's success. Most feminine sorts of careers, so you could say like an artist or even a musician, like unless you hit it big, most of those sorts of career archetypes are seen as not making any money. They're not seen as being successful career choices, right? So what we've learned to do as a society is to really amplify our masculine energy, thinking that that's what's going to create success for us. This is because we don't know anything about feminine energy. We haven't been taught about it, which is for a reason. And we don't understand it. We don't understand that it's actually far more powerful creative energy than masculine energy is. Masculine energy is just about creating a safe container, creating a structure. Feminine energy is creation, so we can create massive success using our feminine energy. But anyways, we're not taught that, right? So what happens is when we learn we need to be independent and we are celebrated every single time we show independence, we start to form this masculine shell around us. And what we start to vibrate out to other people, but also to the universe, is that I've got it. I don't need help. I'm not open to asking for help. I've got it all. Like, you don't need to worry about me. I have everything together. I'm strong. I'm capable. I can do it all by myself. And in our friendships, it may not affect friendships that much, but in intimate partnerships, this is really going to affect the polarity of your partner that you are attracting. If you are a woman who's operating with more masculine energy, you are going to attract a man who is operating with a lower form of masculine energy than you are. You will be the lead masculine energy, which is probably the opposite of what you want in 90% of cases, right? Some people that works for them and that's fine. But most women are like, I want him to lead me, but you're the one who's operating with more masculine energy. I know this because I was in that sort of a dynamic. And you don't even recognize it because we're raised to be more masculine. And then on a separate note from that, while you are being celebrated for being the independent woman, we also aren't understanding why we're not receiving that sort of opposite energy. Like, why are there not strong masculine energies around me? Why am I the strongest, like the alpha? Or why am I that offering that sort of energy to those around me? And it's because you're not open and receptive in your feminine energy. Your masculine energy is leading you. So how do we shift this? You start moving more into your feminine energy. You have to start becoming, number one, it helps to educate yourself about both of those energy fields, but noticing, where am I operating more from masculine energy? Where am I directing? Where am I being really like linear and focused and taking directive action? Where am I, and then thinking about your feminine energy, where am I like open and receptive? Where am I open and receptive, and where am I just surrendered and trusting? Feminine energy is a lot more than those energies, but that's how we open up to it. So that's kind of your entryway into allowing that independent woman mask to just melt off, because you don't need to call yourself self-independent to be able to take care of yourself. Feminine energy, truly, like, we see feminine energy, we think femininity is like being girly or being a domestic housewife or being really sexy and seductive. Think about like an Amazonian warrior. So these were women in the past, like ancient histories, when they've found skeletons, it's almost impossible to determine the sexes apart because they're the same structures, they're the same size. So when you think about like warrior women, they were actually deeply embodying feminine energy and a blend of masculine energy as well, because we need both. Both are really helpful. But when you have a certain natural balance and it's out of whack, you're just like not going to be attracting what you desire in a lot of different things because you are not in balance yourself. So how to take that mask off, how to melt it. Stop calling yourself independent, Stop celebrating that, because it doesn't matter. You can be able to take care of yourself and also ask others for help. Also be open to receiving help, right? So you can start noticing, like, where am I doing all these things and I'm asking, for example, this is a stupid example, but like, okay, I want my partner to be taking the trash out and I'm getting mad at him for not taking the trash out, but I'm also not giving him an opportunity to. Like, I take the trash out and then I'm like, oh, he never helps around the house. Well, did you give him an opportunity to? Are you allowing him to lead you? Because you're probably not. You're probably used to leading and controlling, and you think that you can do it better, and you think that it's just easier if you do it. There's a million things that we tell ourselves, but these are the things we have to train ourselves out of. So we're always attracting from who we're being. If you are holding more masculine energy, you're going to attract the mirror opposite of that. So if you have 60% masculine, 40% feminine energy, you're going to attract someone who's the opposite of that. It's a magnetic pull. But then if you start to shift into your feminine energy, you might notice, like with your current partner, either their energy will change to match it, or they're kind of locked in at that rate and it's not going to be a fit anymore. So you will notice, like, when you start working with this, that you're going to see some changes. And anyways, so really start focusing on, where am I not willing to let go of the masculine paradigm? Where am I not willing to let go of being in charge, being the leader, being the one who takes care of stuff? Where can I open up to someone else leading me? That's going to bring up a lot of stuff for you. This is like big work. So the other thing is, you have to start leaning into your feminine energy, leaning into softening your edges, leaning into melting that armor around you, leaning into that softer, more open, more vulnerable side, instead of being the one leading. And so one thing that really supports with understanding the feminine energy is understanding that we are cyclical. So like I was saying before, you might have seen in my reflection back here what my hands were doing. So masculine energy is linear, it's directive, it goes in a straight line, right? Just like our linear graphs and also just like the sex organs. Masculine energy is linear, straight, pointing, directed, right? Feminine energy is cyclical. Think about the the moon cycles. The moon operates in a cycle. The seasons, Mama Gaia is purely feminine energy. She operates, the seasons operate in cycles. Our menstrual cycles happen every 28 days, and there's different phases within those days. So our energy is exactly the same way. But most of us are trying to work with our feminine energy in a masculine way. We're thinking that it's linear, and it's not. So for me, first, the work that I did around my feminine energy was really just like what I shared. Where am I trying to lead, and where am I willing to let go? But what really made it click in was learning how to work with the feminine cycles. So the first thing I would do, start working with the moon. Start tracking your period. Start noticing how you feel on different days. Like day 1 of my period, I feel this way. Day 5 of my period, I feel this way. You can start scheduling your life according to that. And just notice like what comes up for you as I'm talking about this. If there's any resistance to doing that, start working with the moon, like I said, is also really, really helpful to get you in sync with these different cycles. But ultimately learning about the cycles of the feminine, there are so many of them, but there are 3 main ones, and I'm going to be doing a masterclass on this. It's totally free, so you can join that. There's going to be a link in the comments below. If you're watching this later, you can catch the replay for free. The replay will be there, but I'm going to be going over these cycles in a masterclass. It's going to be filled with information about matriarchal societies, but also about how we work with these powerful cycles of the feminine, because if you don't work with those cycles, you're not going to be working with your full power, because feminine energy is like deep. I mean, all energy can be deep, but feminine energy is incredibly deep. And it's like the highs of the heavenly realms of like, I don't even know how, it's like ecstasy. That's a great word to describe it. It's the ecstatic realm, but it's also like deep in the underworld. And we're not led to like operate like that in society, right? Where it's like, keep your emotions contained, be polite, don't like let people see how you're feeling. You have to just be neutral at all times. So when we learn to work with feminine energy, it really just flips everything we've learned on our head, which that's also what we're going to be talking about in this masterclass. Many of the different, I mean, we've been programmed so much by patriarchal thinking over the last like 4,000 years. So we don't even like, that could be a 100-year course. But we're going to be talking about some of the big differences from patriarchal societies, which literally encourage us to like that independent woman complex where we don't need other people. And then we become incredibly alienated. And we don't need help from other people around us, so we don't receive it. And that's just not, there's much more beautiful ways to live our life. So tuning into your feminine helps you access that deeper connection. So we're going to be going through some of that, like the matriarchal, patriarchal systems, how they differ, but also, and that's important for you to know so that you can pinpoint your programming, pinpoint where you're operating strictly from programming versus actually something that feels a lot more yummy and warming and welcoming in your heart, right? So yeah, join the masterclass. I would love for you to be there. I think that's it. Put in the comments if you have any questions. The Independent Woman Mask is something that so many of us wear. If you have a job, if like you have a job as a woman, you probably are wearing it, because it's almost, unless you're in like a creative director role or something, which you probably are still wearing it. It's just like embedded into our current society, and it's not healthy for us. It's not helpful. And again, I'm just going to end with that question. Do men call themselves independent? So why do women need to call themselves independent? We can be good on our own. Like, I don't need anything, but I'm open to everything. I'm not dependent on someone else, but I am open to their energy. I'm open to help. I'm open to receiving. I'm open to experiencing. I'm open to like, you know, and one, like a couple other just quick examples. If someone's offering like on a plane to pick up your bag and put it in the overhead compartment, what do you say? Someone offers to bring your groceries in, like somebody know. If someone offers to take groceries to your car, like, do you accept help? Do you receive help? Or are you like, nope, I've got it? And it's like, why wouldn't I accept help or receive help here? It doesn't mean anything. They're offering, right? And also, There's just like so much with masculine and feminine energy. Like masculine energy wants to provide for you. So also when we don't allow them to do that, this is also your own internal masculine, but I'm talking about external men here. They want to provide for you. They want to be in that protector role. And when we take that away from them and then expect them to like show up in that same way, but we're not allowing space for it, it's like harmful to them as well. So on one hand, like, you know, someone can show up on their own in that sort of role, but also if you're not giving space for it, or you're not allowing it, you're not accepting it, you're not celebrating it, you're like, it's like if someone gives you a gift and you're like, I don't need your gift, I wasn't expecting it and I don't want it, I can get my own gifts. It's like, fine, never gonna get you a gift again, you know? So that's just the last thing I'll kind of add in there. But I'd love to hear your takeaways. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, because it's something that most people wear. So if there's something that I didn't mention in here that you think would be helpful, please put it in the comments so that people can read it and learn from it, and it can support them. Or if you just had any big like aha moments. So yeah, if you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website, alliewilkins.com, or you can just go to my Instagram page. But I do a few different things. I do Akashic record readings. I'm a seer, so I see energy, I see your blueprint, I translate messages from your guides to you. So it's a really cool, powerful experience. And I also do one-on-one mentorships and different group courses and masterminds as well. So if you want to learn more about that, you can just go over to my website or follow me on Instagram. I would love to connect with you there. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, comment so that more people can find it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.